Welcome back to the highest value content in crypto, baby dolls. I'm giving you a special update on the MH370 UFO video. Do you remember this, friends? I've made many videos here for you on my channel of over 5,000 videos, which you can see right here. Many MH370 videos, a lot of references out here, friends. So pretty much what happened was the Malaysia MH370 flight, as we know, was disappeared, warped out of thin air by the US government in 2014. Okay, so who leaked the video? It was Edward C. Lin. They actually put him in jail as well. Edward C. Lin. He actually renamed himself. He had to change his name. He's not allowed to talk about it. Okay, he went in jail for like 7 years. And why did they do it? It turns out, well, we kind of got some, I guess, rumors and whispers, kind of people kind of whispering around. It was a demonstration by the US government to tell China not to mess with us. Why? China got, I think, 12 or so of their scientists who were working in America, the semiconductor scientists, they got them all to defect. And they did the ultimate backstabbing to America. They're going to take all the super military stuff, science stuff, and then pretty much they zapped them out. You've seen this video, right? This one right here on the bottom, friends, on the bottom. You've seen this one on the bottom. That's why. And it's hard to see. It's going to zap out of existence. See those 3 orbs around the plane? It's going to go kaput very soon. Very soon, it's going to go. Watch it. They're circling around. And soon it'll be gone. Actually, here it is. Actually disappears. Okay, so that's a plane. That's the plane, right? And actually, just another close at it here. It's right here as you go forward. And then pop. Right, there you go. Bang. Disappears. Okay. So those are 3 orbs going around the plane. What happens? Well, Dr. Pais Salvadore and, you know, some other science guys who, like, basically they've contributed to research, and the government basically takes their patent and then they don't tell them about what it can be used for. They pretty much, they bury it. Yeah, so you don't go make stuff. Well, I think, well, from what I remember, those 3 orbs, they teleport whatever's in between to the 4th orb. So there's a 4th orb somewhere. Now you might ask, where was the 4th orb? No one has confirmed proof, but it was probably one of the secret military bases. I think it's on some island. We actually had the coordinates and stuff out here. This island, it's actually a mysterious American military island. I think there were 2 guys who washed up ashore there and they couldn't leave for a number of years or something. It was strange. But why I want to give you this update, did you know this orb stuff, friends? You know how MH370, because I've got a cracker episode here for you. Did you know that in 2013, a year before, a man in Spain from the land of Espanol, he recorded 3 sphere orbs around another plane from his backyard. He recorded this with his, look at the video camera. Look at that. He recorded this, the one on the top, friends, the one on the top. Okay, so I'll just show you. See that? Isn't that wild? He recorded these 3 orbs going around the plane. And no one knew what the hell was going on. They're like, what is this? Isn't that crazy? Okay, so obviously he recorded that 3 orbs going around a plane. And then a year later, it happens to MH370. Okay, so that 2014 incident at Malaysia MH370, they still, no one's able to find the footage, or no one's able to find the plane at all. There was a fake bullshit psyops where the government said, oh, we found the wing. Can't confirm it. It's kind of funny, friends. You can fart anywhere in the world, the CIA is going to find you. Okay? It's America, dude. Number 1, almighty great power. They can find you anywhere. They found Saddam Hussein in that little spider hole. Do you tell me you can't find the plane? Come on, man. Of course they can, friends. We know. But I'm going to go through and going to go deeper, right? Remember, the US deep state military has advanced UFO tech. So they've been working on it since the 1950s. Remember, friends, from Dr. Harald Malmgren, which I made that video here for you. It's like a cracker episode. It's this episode here with the confession. So Dr. Harald, friends, Dr. Harald Malmgren out here, if I just go and show you. Dr. Harald, friends, he in this interview, right, it's Deathbed confession. So he died right after filming. He passed away, sadly. Rest in peace. But thank you, sir. That's kind of, he's a very, very big deep state OG networker. He's an advisor to the US president, 4 presidents as well. He pretty much, this is what blew my mind. He said the US scientists had figured out quantum entanglement in like 1933. Now, they didn't call it that. They're just like, they found out this Einstein stuff, 1933, Habib. Dude, that's wild. Dr. Stephen Greer is right. American scientists have been figuring this stuff out. It's been 100 years, dude. And they're just pretending to everybody, oh, this new tech. They've had it for a long time. That was one of the revelations that it blew me away. I was like, whoa, man. I thought that was a stretch too far. I thought, oh, maybe if you tell me they've just discovered the UFO tech now, okay. But then my mind just exploded. I was like, oh, wow. Wow. You guys have had this the whole time. It's like, man, that's one of the deepest conspiracy stuff that the government, like we're always like, oh, the government's like 2 years ahead of the civilian population. Try 100 years, bro. Not even 2 years, 100 years. They had the scientists and stuff working out here. So they do have advanced UFO tech, gravity manipulation, manipulating space-time. Yeah, but it's not so easy to get it all done, I guess. Otherwise, I probably would have done it faster. The problem is keeping it compartmentalized. That's the toughest part as well, because you got to have all these scientists working, but they all can't all corroborate with each other. Maybe for some difficult stuff they can. Now, the orbs footage was leaked by Edward C. Lin. He had to change his name. So just to show you, Edward C. Lin, remember, he is, yeah, changed his name here. This is Edward Lin. Yeah, it's obviously why did he change his name? Or have a guess, bro. He's being bugged right now. His phone's tapped. They go, hey, you talk about anything, you're finished. By the way, when he leaked the tape, the judge was not allowed to see everything. That's wild, bro. You got to admit, that's pretty wild. A judge was told by the government, hey, this is so top secret, dude. You can't even reveal what's happening. Is that even allowed, by the way? That's crazy, man. The judge is like, oh. They probably said to the judge, hey, judge, have you met my friend? Revolvi? Right? So... and it would have happened a bit like that. Remember, China stole around 12 semiconductor scientists. I forgot the number. I just said 12. And they defected. Okay, so it was a demonstration. There was also a guy on Twitter with like 500,000 followers. He was an ex-Navy SEAL. And he literally made a tweet. MH370 was a demonstration. That's what he wrote. And everyone was like, whoa, say more. Zip. Ex-Navy SEAL. Maybe he deleted the tweet. Okay, so also interesting. You see this video here, friends? This video I'm about to show you, the one that, see this, the explosion here? This is what's most fascinating. Did you know that? So Dr. Salvatore Pais, I'll show you. He is Salvatore Pais. Him and, here he is. This is the guy, friends. He was studying this and the government like yoinked it. And like, yeah, he's a really cool guy. Does some interviews, but they've got these equations, yeah, and they found out, theoretically, right, it was all theoretics. If you do this orb stuff, and you do this cold fusion, and you zap something out, they did the equations, and they found out that the space inside becomes super cold. Now, this is the crazy part. This heat signature is exactly consistent with that cold path. That's what was crazy. Like, so how on earth did someone 10 years ago, 11 years ago, this is the crazy part as well, to make it more crazy. You know, the research for that, it only came out like a few years ago. So how did someone who was supposedly video editing this, which is not video edited, it's real, how did they know the heat signature for something zapping would be super cold? How did you know that? Why didn't you have a different spectrum of light? Why did you have this super cold vortex thing? Okay, you have to be like, obviously, friends, what's actually happened is on the Coconut Intelligence Agency here, they edited the footage with a leaked Super Nintendo game. So they actually did, there was like a leaked Super Nintendo game, the sprite of the explosion. And what they do is, it's master psyops. So when the video was spreading, they get the video, they splice it, they get the Super Nintendo sprite, they put it and they edit the video and they put it over it, they save it, and then they re-upload it. It's genius psyops, man. Genius disinformation. So they take the real one, they edit it and make it fake, then they spread it out. And then the account that releases information was an anonymous Redditor that obviously has never gone for interview or anything out, just a random person, undoxed. They said, oh, this thing is fake. Right? So as I've explained here, they post these on Reddit, but only scum, soy boy, triple vaxxers believe it. Okay, so Ashton has been covering it. Ashton is a friend of the channel as well. So Ashton, friends, citizen journalist. Friend Ashton, you on the way? Still alive, bro? It's because I'm lighting a lot of candles for you, dude. Because I don't know how these guys. I'll be honest. I don't know how these guys still alive. I'll be honest, friend. I'm not exaggerating. I do not know how Ashton is still alive. So I'm gonna keep praying, sir, because we are gonna make it. I'm serious. This is, friends. I've shown you how much stuff. Look, fastest way to remove yourself out of this earthly realm. Start posting the 0 point energy equations. You're finished. You're literally finished. Okay? Because you're threatening the multi-trillion dollar, hundreds of trillions of dollars of power of the US dollar dominance. That's America's US dollar dominance. That's why they let crypto go on. Why? Because they can control it. Duh. Okay? What don't they let get out? The 0 point energy equations. You get that stuff out and the research and how to create stuff, you're finished. You're basically giving the blueprint to rival US nations to tell them how to make free energy oil. And then those countries, if they can become self-sustained from the free energy, they'll never need to hold the US dollar again. The US dollar thing goes down, and now suddenly your economic advantage is finished. That's why the game, there's high level stakes here. Isn't this crazy? This MH370 plane, right? So coincidentally, that guy in Spain, 3 orbs and then 1 MH370 as well. So we know it's 100% confirmed. There's always these cucks out here trying to say it's not. Here's Ashton as well. Thanks, bro. So you gotta remember, friends, this is also insane. This was insane. Mr. Jeppy Boo, just to let you know, friends, Steven Spielberg, the actual, the movie director, right, all right. This is like confirmed pretty much now. He gets given soft disclosure stuff and then he writes it into like his movies. That there's like real life alien stuff, like those mummies and stuff they find in Aztecs. Like his movies have the same thing from like 10 or 20 years ago. It's really wild. But then it's does that mean that these mummies that they find, they release them over time? It could be, friends. It could be where they find something, government's got something, deep state, and they're like, okay, we'll release this in 10 years. Maybe they find the mummy of maybe they actually find the mummy of a reptile. They have found some stuff, where it's literally found like the pterodactyl finger humanoid stuff, like straight out of a video game. And they don't release it straight away. But maybe that's what they do. They go, okay, we found this. We'll release it to society in 15 years from now. But before we release it, in a couple of movies, we'll let's put some movies out that shows something of this similar being that kind of exists. If you're new to the world, if you're a blue pill cuck, this is gonna sound very foreign and scary to you, but because you're like, oh, you mean everything's in control? Yes, bro. Yeah, welcome to the simulation. Everything's controlled. Or you think it was just a coincidence? Donald Trump's planned assassination happened with some kid who had 0 fingerprints in all of his house. Oh, the kid decided before he went on a death wish, he decided to go do the dishes and wipe all his fingerprints from his home. Oh, and by the way, he was the only 19-year-old kid in the world who didn't have an internet account. Oh, golly gee, such a random wild coincidence. Oh, is that a step ladder going up directly to get put a crosshair in the middle of the president's head? Wow, look how I stumbled upon that. You know what I mean? So you got to wake up and get with the times. Shout out to Jeppy Boo. Hey, Somi, do you remember that in the TV show Taken, early 2000s, the opening scene shows a plane getting hit and is about to crash, but is saved by some glowing orbs? You can't make this up. They know something we don't. Friends, this is what gave me goosebumps. I went and I saw Taken TV show. It was directed by Steven Spielberg, friends. And I actually have a screenshot here. UFO airplane abduction in cinema, 2002 Taken. Steven Spielberg's Taken came out. The first 5 minutes of the 10-episode long miniseries. Either someone got inspiration from this and made the videos we've all seen, or it's all real and someone in Steven Spielberg's production for this had some insane insider UFO knowledge to get the abduction scene exactly the same as the MH370 videos 12 years earlier. Let's actually go and have a look at it. And I actually have it right here. This is crazy. Let's check it out here. So I've got it right here. This is it, friends. Look at these orbs around the plane. This is the GIF. Someone actually put the GIF. That's wild. Orbs around this plane. Look at that. Wow. These orbs around the plane. Crazy. And yeah, just to confirm for you, friends, there are some stories where people are making a film, UFO-related film in the 90s. The directors talk about this, and just a very random, mysterious person rocks up to their cocktail party, and they say, oh, you know that scene about the alien stuff? You got to change that part. That's not right. Yeah, so people directors out here. So what are we getting at? Well, probably the phenomenon, whatever you want to call it, Mr. and Mrs. Alien out here. They're probably guiding us humans. And like, look, you know, when you put movie stuff, don't make us look bad. You don't really get us. You know, let's not scare the population into stuff. Let's like make us kind of look neutral or good. Let's not, you know, make it look really, really ugly. So you see one story like this, you think it's a coincidence, but man, when you see all of these. Also, we are all awaiting Mr. JD. I wonder if Joe Rogan will have Ashton on. He may be even out there for everyone out here. So that's Dr. Steven Spielberg. It's not a Dr. Steven, but yeah, it is crazy to think about all that soft disclosure. Now, friends, before we continue on to some more, I want to show you this. There's this quick segment from Ross Coulthart. Now, Ross is, you gotta understand, Ashton, this is the craziest part in the UFO community. Ashton and these leaked videos, thank you to Edward Seelin. Thank you, also spent like freaking 7 years in jail for everyone to get this stuff. We actually have proof of the otherworldly technology, the orbs. We actually have it. Physics breaks. It doesn't really break. It's just our physics. We're a lot further in the physics realm than the science in school that they've been lying to us about, okay? And it's right in front of us. And then the UFO researchers, who are like the front figures, they are like totally ghosting Ashton. And everyone's scratching their heads. They're like, dude, bro, we have proof now. A guy literally went to jail for leaking this stuff. The only reason why they didn't kill him is because he leaked secondhand info and he gave his service to the military as a big public guy. Okay? So what gives? How come yous are so freaking hostile?
Religious beliefs. That's my view.
All right, Ross, our next question is coming in from David. Ross, please give us your thoughts on what you think about the Ashton Forbes assessment on the missing MH370 claims. His investigations seem to have credibility. Thanks for your great work.
Okay. However I answer this, I know I'm going to cop excoriating barbs from Ashton Forbes, but here goes. So I think 10 weeks after MH370 disappeared in March 2014, I was actually one of the reporters covering the whole story at the time, so I've got a pretty good grasp of this whole story. But I think MH370 went missing on 8th of March 2014. 10 weeks later, there's a guy called Regicide Anon who posts online a really intriguing video, and it does look initially very convincing. And it shows an aircraft that looks like the shape of MH370 moving through clouds. All of a sudden, it's surrounded by swirling orbs, and then it seems to disappear in a big flash. And Ashton Forbes is a UAP researcher who has embraced this video with relish.
So, Ross Coulthart, I want to let you know, the video he references the fake Super Nintendo one. Okay? Just to let you know. So, also, there's, friends, like 20 things. If this was a fake of the video, one, no one's come out. Two, no one's been able to prove it. And number three, the video, the coordinates, the physics, there's a mouse cursor, the frames are consistent. Everything lines up 100%. Everything. So whoever doctored this, bro, you are going to win a Nobel Physics Prize. You can't do this. You literally can't. Okay. There is no sign of doctoring out here. Okay. It's real, but it's baffling that they still fade it, man.
And has made the assertion that he thinks that there's been a cover-up of sensitive vision that was leaked from a military satellite showing this abduction by aliens of MH370. Now, I try and keep an open mind on most things. And I've never really commented on this before because, frankly, Ashton is a very aggressive person who doesn't take kindly to people criticising his theory. But I really do think it is time to give a response to this issue. Firstly, I've spoken to somebody in the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency who tells me that the video that is shown in that supposedly leaked video bears no resemblance at all to the kind of video telemetry that you get from those satellites. It's not NGIA, or indeed any other type of US government satellite. But more importantly, and I think surely to God, this would kill the issue stone dead if people look.
No. Let me tell you something. You're telling me someone out there in 2014 magically made up these orbs around MH370, and they were so genius-like to predict in the next 10 years the plane would never be found. Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild, friends? They literally chose, hey, I'm going to go make a fake video of orbs around this MH370 plane, and I'm going to be so smart to know the plane will never be found. Friends, it's been 11 years. Still never found. Of course, because it got zapped out to their military. What happened to the people on board? They probably killed all of them. Probably all dead. Who knows? Okay, that's crazy, isn't it? Wow. So what a random coincidence. It's not like, oh, imagine like, oh, there's a missing person out here that they were driving their car on the bridge, they disappeared, and then you go, oh, they got abducted by aliens, and then like 5 days later, oh no, we found them. What are the chances? Okay, the only plane that goes missing turns out to be like this.
Looked at it. There are videos of the clouds that were taken from a photo bank, a known photo bank, and they show very, very clearly that whatever the I'll just put it up on screen. So I think the one on the left is the one that's cited in the MH370 video and promoted by Ashton Forbes, and the one on the right is from a photo video bank. And the guy who actually shot the photograph for the photo video bank, which is essentially a raw archive of images, the photographer has come forward and said, I shot that photograph. That's my cloud. And all I know is that when Ashton was asked about this and asked to explain the reasons why the clouds in the supposed leaked video bear an identical resemblance, not a resemblance, they're identical to the ones from the photo archive, he really didn't have an adequate explanation. In fact, when Danny Jones raised it with him on his podcast, he gave Danny Jones a rather puerile explanation that my butthole looks like your butthole, which is quite vulgar and really didn't answer the question. So
I just want to show you, friends, from Ashton as well, okay? Now, I want to show you Ashton, a bit of Ashton's clip to respond out here. It's a long response. He covers absolutely everything, friends. Absolutely everything.
So I wanted people to understand that I'm coming from this from a place of honesty, and it's just the totality of the evidence that is the reason for the story that I'm saying. That totality of the evidence clearly shows the United States government is responsible for the disappearance of the plane and the cover-up. They recorded it, and they got caught when the footage leaked on the internet. It's clearly what the footage shows. Even if you were to think that it's hoax, that's what the footage is implying. Do people want me to cover up the fact that we did this for national security? There is a lot of people out there that know these videos are real. And I'm sorry, just hell no. We teleported an airplane. They're hiding magical technology from us. The implications of those videos are massive. And so I risked it all. The moment I was confident that those videos were real, even when I wasn't 100% sure, I risked my life, my career, my whatever future credibility, if you care about that. Because I've worked on databases that use Citrix remote terminal sessions my entire life. Even in college, our system there used it. So when I saw the cursor and that it wasn't a camera recording of a screen, but an actual screen recording of a window with a mouse cursor coming on it, and the frame rate was different, I knew that was such strong evidence that the videos could no longer be ignored. And I risked everything to promote them from that position forward. Now, the evidence has not gotten weaker from that point. If anything, it's just got completely irrefutable at this point. And this is the reason why Ross Coulthart now is bringing it up, because the topic has gotten to the point where it can no longer be ignored. When they do the movie about MH370, the first Yahtzee moment will be realizing that the whammy satellite video is a screen recording of a Citrix session. That was the first Yahtzee moment, although it was not recorded on screen. And that's how I found him. Agent 370. From realizing that it was a U.S. military personnel logged into the real system, I was able to build a psychological profile of the person that leaked the videos. Now, if you watched even the Jimmy Dore interview that was only about 20 minutes long, you know I've been saying that this was a complex U.S. military operation. Edward C. Lynn is the guy that leaked those videos. You can pretty much look at all the work and the stuff that I posted about him. The evidence is essentially irrefutable. The time frame for when he was part of this special black project squadron was exactly when the plane disappeared. They were terrified that he was going to leak information just publicly because of what he had already leaked, that they were too afraid to show. That triggered a national security alert at the highest levels. Look, it's no surprise the guy changed his name the moment I started outing him. He's the one that did it. So I don't know why there's even discussions about, ooh, are the videos fake? I told you I found the guy that leaked the videos. Are you listening to the words that I'm saying? So when people come up with these reasons why they think the videos are fake, they obviously are just going to have very easily explainable reasons for why these debunks exist. Except in the case of this cloud photos one, which I will admit requires some, not necessarily suspension of disbelief, but you have to understand what we're dealing with here. I'll come to that in a second. I want to address as well the NGA thing. So Ross Coulthart says that one of his sources said that that's not what footage looks, or whatever NGA footage looks like. This actually goes back to Ross Coulthart telling Think Tank, who's a Twitter user, back in August of 2023 that, and I know because Think Tank showed me the text messages in August of 2023 of Ross Coulthart saying that he checked with his NGA source and it doesn't match. And this is disappointing because we hadn't even identified the sensor at that point. We didn't even know what it was. And he was already willing to dismiss the footage from just a random vague source saying that that's not what it looks like. And now we've identified it as Argus IR, which is a DARPA program, a $50 million contract in 2010 for BAE Systems. We identified the satellite USA 229, which is a naval ocean surveillance satellite used for tracking airplanes that was set up into outer space the year after that contract was awarded. And according to BAE, the testing for that would have completed in 2012. So the timeline fits perfectly for Argus IR, which is the whammy wide area motion imagery footage that we're seeing in the satellite video, which is a lot more complex than definitely the public realizes, and probably even more than your NGA analysts realize, who are not using the super secret black ops surveillance software. One other thing I want to address as well is the lack of intellectual curiosity. Is that
yeah, man, they got everything. It's real. It's real. Okay, they had a satellite. They went so far. They went deep into like U.S. government funding, DARPA, black stuff, and they like lined it up. They go, oh, this was the satellite that was built for like 2010 or whatever to build these things. So it's interesting, man. It's like the UFO researchers have a chance to like, oh, the tech we've been talking about, it's actually right in front of my face. They're like, nah. I don't know what it is. Maybe just like it's disbelief. Maybe they're jaded. They've been here for so long. Or then maybe they think, no. I've been covering this for a long time. How can this random guy present this information? And then Ashton, shout out to Ashton, he's like, what do you mean random guy, bro? Like it got released for everyone. I just went and dug further into it. It's not, Ashton's not saying he's special. Like, bro, they leaked it. Like we found the leaker. We're all meant to look at this. Ashton, we didn't know which satellite was in range to get the data for the MH3 video, so we checked all of them. At first, we were looking for satellites that were in the South Indian Ocean until we released the coordinates were the Nicobar Islands. So here is in the right spot at the right time. The plane would have been right here at the exact time. Now that the center has been identified as Argus IR, the launch of USA 229 in 2011 fits with the timeline of this capability. The oldest video source was in stereoscopic, further supporting that the satellite pair was sending the data. So they have all these, look at it, just crazy goes out here. It's like the guys in, and remember friends, Ashton's not a UFO dude. Just to let you know, he's not a UFO dude. Ashton's not going out researching multiple dimension things. He's not even a real UFO dude. He's just citizen journalist. He went through this. He's like, oh, the US government has been hiding stuff all along. Check out this clip from Tucker Carlson as well. Catherine Fitz tells Tucker Carlson she believes the government is using breakthrough energy in a secret way. Let's go.
So how convinced are you that breakthrough energy, alternate forms of energy, non-publicly disclosed forms of energy are in use by the U.S. government?
I think there's a very high chance that they're in some kind of use in a very controlled, secret way.
Yeah, well, there are tons of indications, and you've had a number of people, like at the contractor level, like I'm a federal contractor electrician or a concrete guy or whatever, and I was working on this underground facility. There are a number of people who come forward to say this, and I saw what appeared to be some brand new form of energy I didn't understand.
Right.
And sane people too. Sean Ryan, who's a friend of mine, wonderful guy, honest man, who's a podcaster, did an interview with this guy who was just like a random blue collar guy. Right. I think he was a concrete guy, and he got a call for 1 million yards of concrete or whatever, and went to this underground facility, DOD facility, and saw clearly signs of some energy source that was, defied the laws of known physics. So, and there are a bunch of people who have said stuff like that. So I don't think it's crazy.
So I have two businesses. One is the Solari Report. The other is Solari Screens. I do an investment screen. And I think, a lot has to shift in investment if we're going to have a real civilization and not misallocate. I think we're misallocating capital terribly anyway, but he for 30 years has been an investor in a breakthrough energy company.
So has been.
Yeah. And it's called Brilliant Light. You can go look at their website, and they're really, they swear they've got it.
This is the cutest thing I've ever seen. This Auntie Catherine, look what Ashton says. Auntie Catherine Fitz's friend is invested in an energy company called Brilliant Light Power, which you just mentioned. Randall Mills company producing cold fusion via the hydrino theory. I tell you about cold fusion all the time. We go to school being taught nuclear fusion is how you make energy. You got to heat stuff up. And the government banned everyone from saying that cold fusion is real. Remember the Department of Defense, DOD, and the Department of Energy, DOE, in the 1990s basically pointed a gun to every single science lab in America's head and said, hey, undo those equations and results and tell everybody you can't reproduce them and that cold fusion's fake. And they did. But it's been real the whole time. So you cool something down to zero, there's some sort of energy wave that comes out. I don't know if you do something with the Taurus or do some black backflips or throw some paper clips and make some waffles or some eggs and pancakes. I don't know. You do something in there, you get some energy out here. Their method uses quantum energy states lower than the ground state. This is what I also think the orbs are doing in the MH370 videos when they zap the plane. Pew, pew, pew. So, interesting events. I don't know if I saw that Sean Ryan episode that she was talking about. Oh no, Tucker Carlson was talking about. Sean Ryan, they interviewed like one of the concreters. And I think it was him and his dad. I forgot which one it was. I think it was him and his dad went. He was like a young kid. He was like an apprentice and he was working for his dad. His dad had the contract, right? And his dad just took him and they went through these things. They went down like this one. I think they had to go for some emergency. And he went through this path and he went there and he was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Why is this perfect sphere floating from the ground? Excuse me. What's going on here? You're not meant to be perfectly levitating off the floor. That's in the TV, not here. So he's just looking at it. He's like, what's going on, bro? You're not meant to be doing this right now. You are breaking the fabric of what I think reality is right now. What are you doing? This is kind of funny. They actually did interview a concreter. I think sad story as well, friends. I think I forgot if I'm mixing a couple of the stories, but one of them, I think the guy's father, I think he started to get a bit sick, but then he started talking to his son a bit more about the contract, and then it's implied his life was taken fast. So just to let you know, that's what they do, by the way. If you or any of your family, if you ever get the chance to go to these deep underground military bases out here, don't talk about it. Don't. They track you even after you're gone. So that's what we've learned from this guy. So even though it was like a 20-year ago event, yeah, the dad starts talking and then he's gone. Okay, so I don't know how he's gone. I think he was getting sick anyway. I forgot if I'm mixing up the stories and stuff, but just that's a common theme They track you for life. Yeah. So, yeah, you can't be like, oh, in 10 years, I'll squeal. Nah. They track you for life. That's why you got to do what Harald Malmgren did. Like, literally, deathbed confession. Literally, you got about 1 to 5 months left in your life. That's when they pretty much squeal. And also, Auntie Catherine there, remember she said, I think there's misallocation of capital. And that's the biggest nothing burger understatement of all time. What you're literally saying, trillions of dollars are being wasted on combustion engines right now, all over Earth. Trillions of dollars wasted when we have the capability for 0-point energy right now. But where do I stand, fans? Look, I'll just be honest, and I'm sure you would too. The ramifications of this are so big, especially for humans. A lot of us are just barbarians, right? We want to kill each other just because you go for another soccer team. You know what I mean? So we're probably not ready. You know, we probably aren't ready. It's too much power, man. Literally infinite energy from an ether space. You know what that means, right? Like, imagine your worst enemy, okay, just launching infinite amount of bombs from like an island just into a city. See us? Yes, it's very self-destructive. But yeah, it is no secret, right? They are hiding a lot of these advanced stuff.
But you believe that there's a whole constellation of underground bases built by the U.S. government in the United States. Like, that fact alone, just the physical infrastructure of it, because normally talk about what are they doing?
It's enormously expensive.
What's unbelievable. And like, it raises lots of practical questions. How do you ventilate them? What about food and water supply? You know,
where's the energy? Are we using breakthrough energy, or
where's the energy come?
Right, because I'm sure that we have the ability to produce breakthrough energy at very low cost. You know, if you go back,
why are you sure of that?
My Dutch partners, I met because they were doing a series of conferences on breakthrough energy, and they brought together breakthrough energy inventors from around the world. And, you know, you can see all the videos up on the internet, and really went through the history from Tesla on of different inventors who have discovered and claimed different innovations with breakthrough energy. And I'm convinced that this energy exists. And I'm also convinced, if you look at a lot of the really fast ships, you know, flying around the planet, you know, that they're not using classical electricity.
She knows something. Also, just free advice. Do not go to these breakthrough energy conventions. Absolutely, under no circumstances. If you're actually providing science stuff, don't do it. Don't do it. You're going to be put on a list. They're going to track you. They're going to make sure that you don't go squeal. 0-point energy. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. CIA friends, they're just so good, man. They're so good at what they do. You know, the best psyops the government ever did was convince the population that they hire retards in government. What a psyops, man. And they literally have the most highest IQ, smartest people working in government, for government, all over. Okay, they hire the best of the best. They put you black ops, bro. You go deep, 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 deep. It's kind of funny, man. You walk around society, everyone's like, oh, look at that person in government. He doesn't know what he's doing, and she doesn't know what she's doing either. Oh, I'm like, dude, that's a mad psyops, dude. You really think... Look around you. You think all these buildings and all these roads and society, and then the zombie virus and the plane assassination and the UFO tech and the orbs moving around and the multiple dimensions. You honestly think that was done all because a bunch of retards got into a building and they don't even know how to make pancakes properly? You think that's all just, yeah, it's kind of fluked it? Well done, CIA. Well done. Congratulations. So it all fits the picture, doesn't it? Great UFO content, isn't it? Like, subscribe, but I'll catch you soon.